What up, y'all? We are back for another episode of Libra's Thoughts Podcast. I was just going over the video that we are going to talk about today, the one that I'm going to give my thoughts about. So, yeah, I'm going to run the video and then we will talk about it. Let's get it.
8 years looking after dying people. The most common regret was I wish I'd lived a life true to myself, not the life that other people expected of me. The second most common was I wish I hadn't worked so hard. The third was I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. Then I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends. And the fifth one, I wish I'd allowed myself to be happier.
Reading them for me caused me to reflect, not just my work, family balance, and everything in my life. How am I living my life? There's something about the truths that people share on their deathbeds that teaches us about life. It's by acknowledging that you're going to die,
yes,
that you get to truly live life.
I spent...
All right, so let's talk about it. Let me give you my thoughts about it. I used to shy away from talking about this topic because I realized that we have been programmed to be in grief mode. And grief is what sells products and services in the funeral business, in the health and wellness business. It's grief. It's the deplorable state. It's the sadness. We are not okay with the cycle of life. We're just not okay. And if y'all hear the extra noise, it's my son. Lyric, turn that down. Sorry, y'all. It's the cycle of life, right? We really don't understand nor appreciate the cycle of life. We will have grief. We will live in that grief. We will harbor in what yesterday was instead of what today has to offer and what the future is going to bring. We really don't have an understanding of what God really does and what he really is, he or she, because I believe God is androgynous. It can float between both masculine and feminine energy. We have no idea. And when we get stuck in grief, it's a dishonor to the creator when the creator has made a final decision about someone's life for whatever reason. Right? For whatever the reason is, we have no respect. We instantly say, why did you do this? Why? Like we become really enraged when our creator makes decisions and we choose to stay in a sad space. We choose to live in yesterday, y'all. We really do. We live in the past. You ever see them people that like to tell them stories from the best times of their life? Because those were the best times. They're stuck in that space. They hate this space they're in. They hate it. They hate it, which is why they tell those stories. You can never get a new story out of them. You can never hear about a story that just happened. Everything is when I was, and in my time, and in my time, and in my era, and in my day. It's like, well, shit, did the fun and the happiness stop? With life, we got to be more understanding that it's going to end. Life is not meant to be extended and to go on forever and ever and ever. It is going to end. There is an end date on this shit. You got an end date. The people around you have an end date, but we operate like there's no end date, which is why we are incredibly hurt when the end date comes. Even with the elders, sometimes we hold on to them elders and they've been trying to get up out of here, but they can't because we're not releasing them. We make it seem like we can't live without them. You have grown up, baby. It's time to move on. It's the cycle of life. A lot of people were wondering if I ever grieved my dad. I grieved him before he even left me. How about that? And I used that time to get conversations in, ask questions, gain clarity. It was productive time. I caught his voice telling me he loves me. I made it a point to make every moment purposeful so I could have what I needed. So on his exit day, I wasn't a neurotic mess like everybody else was. I utilized my time with him wisely instead of harboring. I did a lot of accepting, understanding, telling him how I felt. I didn't wait for him to leave to be like, oh my God, I miss my daddy. No, I'm telling you. Because the main person that's going to help me get through this that I'm experiencing is going to be the person that's actually experiencing it. Don't let that go over your head. The only person that can help me heal that space in my heart was the one that was leaving me. So it was imperative for me to express to him how I was really feeling, where I really was, so he can give me the clarity I needed to keep going, which is why his transition was very easy for me. Was it a struggle a little bit? Yes, because now I have to get used to this new norm. But I was not resistant to the cycle of life because I knew that's what had to happen. I wasn't going to be able to pump the brakes. I ain't more powerful than my creator. He was going to make this shit go down one way or the other. Y'all got to be cool with the cycle of life. I'm going to run this video back for those that might just be joining. I'm going to run this video back so you understand where I'm at.
8 years looking after dying people. The most common regret was I wish I'd lived a life true to myself, not the life that other people expected of me. The second most common was I wish I hadn't worked so hard. The third was I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. Then I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends. And the fifth one, I wish I'd allowed myself to be happier.
Reading them for me caused me to reflect, not just my work, family balance, and everything in my life. How am I living my life? There's something about the truths that people share on their deathbeds that teaches us about life. It's by acknowledging that you're going to die,
yes,
that you get to truly live life.
I spent
Listen, that regret, I want to tackle the regret. Nothing's worse than watching people lay on their bed and be regretful. I've witnessed that. It is the most painful thing to ever watch, where you have people that have lived these lives full of dreams that will never manifest and will only go to the grave with them. We will not experience the greatness of that person. When I'm training my clients, I tackle into the mental, because once you have an understanding of what the life cycle is, what life truly brings, what happiness is, what peace is, and not based on textbook, really diving into you and connecting with your creator, the assignment you were put here to do, helps you gain clarity in all those areas. But a lot of us ain't willing to do the damn work. A lot of us aren't willing to go into the fire to gain knowledge and answers. A lot of us ain't willing to build out the mud. We'll wallow in the mud, we'll play in the mud, but we ain't getting out of it. We're too afraid and too scared, too lazy, too right. I'm gonna say that one more time though. Too right. Winning is not easy, but it's possible because you watch winners all around you, whether they're in your presence, on social media, wherever, coffee shop. You're next to someone living their wildest dream. You're watching someone living their wildest dream. So why do you think it's impossible? You have to let the cycle of life be just that, so you can have a good time in it. So that what your greatness is supposed to be can be seen by others. Sometimes little is less. Sometimes quiet is loud. Sometimes little is more. I'm sorry, I had that wrong. Sometimes little is more. Sometimes quiet is loud. Sometimes ministering is quiet. Ask yourself if you're doing everything possible. Have you accepted that the cycle of life is inevitable? Have you accepted that no matter who's around you, who you're connected to, eventually you will experience their death, or they will be experiencing yours? Accept that you have to get it in while you can, while everyone has a pulse, including you. while you have the time, the patience, the efforts. The time, the patience, the efforts. Do it, y'all. Do it, y'all. I'm just saying, do it, y'all. Jump off the ledge. Be one with the cycle of life. That in which is created will die. That's just a fact. And the sooner you come out of the delusion that everything lasts forever, the easier it is to overcome grief when death happens. Death can be physical, it can be of what you once were growing into the new you. Death can be many things. But while you have the opportunity, get that shit right. Get that shit right. Those that are around you, love on them, respect them, honor them, cherish them. Don't accept no bullshit from them. Nah, no, don't ever do that. But honor, respect, cherish. Give flowers now. Open your mouth now and talk. If there's something bothering you, address it now. If there's something you want to acknowledge, acknowledge it. If there's something you want to say, say. If there's something you're feeling, say that you're feeling it. Like, just participate fully in life. And the rest gets better. Until the next episode of Libra's Thoughts Podcast, y'all. Deuces.